Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen.
In a fantasy world, a meeting of 12 Shinshous and a princess by the name of Kikuri is taking place. They are discussing a plan to find and choose someone to replace the current princess. The 12 Shinshous promise the current princess that they will do their best to protect the new princess. In the real world, Arata Hinohara begins as a shy and tortured soul, who is great at athletics, but he was continuously bullied throughout his early teenage years by his ex-best friend Masato Kadowaki. When he begins high school, he thought it would be a new start, and he began to even make new friends, until things take a turn for the worst when Kadowaki arrives. Back to the fantasy world, a guy who looks a lot like Arata Hinohara except for his hair color. Coincidentally, his name is also Arata. He runs away from his village because his grandmother, Makari, forces him to wear a dress. Makari explains to Arata that he belongs to a family that is one of the candidates to replace Princess Kikuri, the leader of Amawakuni, and the head must be female to be able to use the relic sword Goshintai. If he is found to be a boy, the entire Hime clan will be sentenced to death. He has no choice but to disguise himself as a girl to fool the princess and the 12 Shinshous. The next morning at the palace, the ceremony was about to begin. Arata advises Kotoha to leave with the villagers as soon as possible, while he is trying to buy time. While Princess Kikuri is performing the ritual with Arata, suddenly Kanagi, who is one of the 12 Shinshous, attacks the princess. Kanagi finds out that Arata is a boy and plans to kill Arata as well. This is the rebellion of the 12 Shinshous. Seeing that he has no chance against the Shinshous, Arata quickly jumps into the water below to escape. Kanagi goes out to inform the people that Arata is the one who assassinated Princess Kikuri and issues a warrant for him. While on the run, Arata was accidentally seen by the people. They told Kanagi that Arata was heading to the cursed forest, Kando. Meanwhile, in the real world, Arata Hinohara is desperate for life. He wishes that he could disappear from this world. Then suddenly, some mysterious power attacked the two Aratas, and somehow they have switched places. Hinohara just arrives in this fantasy world. As he makes his way out of the forest, he sees Kanagi waiting for him. Hinohara is bewildered by what's going on, so Kanagi assumes that the cursed forest has taken his memory. Hinohara hides behind the trees to avoid the arrows of the soldiers. But then, the relic sword Goshintai helps Arata by teleporting him somewhere safe, where Kotoha, thinking that it is her Arata, runs out of the bushes to hug him. But more soldiers found them, so Kotoha quickly takes Hinohara back to the village. While in a secret room, Hinohara talks to Makari and tells her who he really was. Understanding the situation, Makari says that when those devoured by the forest return, they are completely changed, and so she thinks that the forest must have switched the two Arata's places. She also adds that he might not be able to return to his old world anymore. At this moment, Kanagi and his soldiers burst into the hut that they were in. Kanagi holds Kotoha hostage to threaten them. When he is about to kill her, Hinohara reveals himself. Kanagi orders a soldier to attack Hinohara. To defend himself, he reaches for the relic sword to block the soldier's strike. Kanagi sees that Hinohara is in the possession of a magic sword. He then draws his own magic sword and attacks Hinohara. At this moment, Hinohara calls upon the relic sword, and so it awakens its power. Thanks to that, Hinohara is able to block Kanagi's attack. The magical power of Kanagi's sword is deflected by Hinohara's relic sword. The hut catches fire and collapses. Kanagi and his army retreats. Back to the real world, Arata is shirtless and is sitting in the middle of the street, so everyone thinks that he is some kind of actor. A crowd then surrounds him. Fortunately, Hinohara's family finds him and brings him home. Taking advantage of the chaos, Hinohara and the others also quickly escape and hide in a cave. Makari explains all of the gods of Amawakuni exist in the form of swords. Those swords are called Hayagami. The sword wielded by Kanagi is one of them as well. His sword is the god of flames, and Hinohara is chosen by the god of light to wield the sword Hayagami Tsukuyo. Being a bit overwhelmed by what's happening, Hinohara steps outside to think. Kotoha then joins him so they can chat. Kotoha still thinks that Hinohara is her Arata, and that he only lost his memories. Before the princess ceremony, Kotoha gave Arata her necklace for protection, but now she sees that Hinohara doesn't have it. Assuming that he has lost it, she gives him another one. At this moment, Kanagi has found their hiding spot and uses Makari's life to threaten them. Hinohara was later arrested and is awaiting for trial. While being held in a carriage, Hinohara's necklace suddenly glows and links with Arata's necklace from the real world, and it gives them a dimensional window where they can talk to each other. The next morning at the trial, Hinohara tries to expose the crimes of the 12 Shinshous, but no one believes him. Hinohara is exiled to Gatoya, which is considered hell incarnated in the human realm. Kanagi didn't want to kill Hinohara just yet, because he wants to know which god is in Hinohara's relic sword. Before Hinohara was brought to Gatoya, Kotoha sneaks inside the airship and is captured, so she will also be brought to Gatoya along with Hinohara. Kotoha's reason for her action is to bring Hinohara's bag, which hid the relic sword. Hinohara tries to use the sword's power again, but there is no response. Then his necklace glows. Hinohara and Kotoha's spirits were then brought to a spiritual plane, where they meet Princess Kikuri. She wants him to listen to her plead. Now that she has fallen from power, the power of the Hayagami swords have been released. They will bring chaos to this world. She wants him to take her place as the ruler of Anowakuni, and also to bring his Hayagami to her before her life runs out. Hinohara decides to do his best to help the princess because she's the first individual to put their trust in him. After returning to their bodies, Kotoha shows Hinohara how to hide the sword inside his body. Moments later, they arrive at Gatoya prison. While Hinohara was having a little brawl with a punk, the prison shakes, and all the prisoners running in panic, shouting, "The hour of reckoning is coming." Then some of the prisoners are swallowed up by huge pipes. The shaking stopped after 2 prisoners were eaten. Then a woman named Osome appears and tells Hinohara about the prison. The prison is run by Warden Susuga. Every day he chooses 2 prisoners to be eaten. She then takes one of Kotoha's hairpin as an information fee and then leaves. They quickly found somewhere safe to rest. Then Hinohara makes friends with 2 inmates named Kanate and Ginchi after he saved Ginchi from some thugs. Hinohara tells them that he wants to escape from this place, but Ginchi says that it is impossible because the warden is the one who possesses the power of Hayagami, named Saniwa. The prison shakes once again because the hour of reckoning has come once more. This time, the first one chosen is Kanate. The second was going to be Hinohara, but Ginchi pushes Hinohara away to save him, so Ginchi becomes the second choice. Hinohara feels responsible for them, so he sharpens his resolve and goes to rescue them. Kanate and Ginchi are suspended in an arena. The warden forces them to fight each other, and the winner shall be set free. Kanate forces Ginchi to fight him. Later, Hinohara and Kotoha also find this place. After fighting for a while, Kanate pretends to lose so that Ginchi could be free, but the warden doesn't keep his promise, and he wants to judge Ginchi for the crime of murder. Hinohara can't stand this injustice, so he rushes to save Ginchi, and succeeds, but he has to then fight with the warden's pipes. Until Hinohara was in a pinch, he calls on his Hayagami to give him the strength to save everyone. The surrounding pipes are then blown away by the power of Hinohara's sword, causing Warden Susuga to reveal himself with the sword Saniwa, which is impaling him. Hinohara touches Susuga's sword, and he sees Susuga's sad past. Wanting to save him from his fate, Hinohara pulls Susuga's Hayagami out of his body. The dark power of the sword fills Hinohara's mind, but he resists and manages to pull the sword out of Susuga's body. At this moment, Susuga also sees Hinohara's past. He sympathizes with him. He voluntarily submits to Hinohara and grants him the power of the Hayagami Saniwa. When Kanagi comes to Gatoya to find Hinohara, Hinohara had already left the prison, along with Kotoha, Kanate, and Ginchi. Hinohara and the others use a map to find their way to the princess's capital, but they will have to go through Kanagi's domain. At this point, Kanate explains that the entire continent is divided and is ruled by the 12 Shinshous, except for the princess's capital. While thinking of a way to get to the capital as quick as possible, the gang comes across a group of villagers, where Ginshi is reunited with his mother. The villagers explain that they are running away because wars are going to break out between the 12 territories for the throne, now that there's no princess. Ginshi wanted Kanate to come with him, but Kanate refuses. He wants Ginshi to be safe and happy with his mother. The three continue on their journey to the capital. They accidentally meet Ohika, who is Kanagi's trusted servant, but he doesn't rat them out to Kanagi. He also possesses a Hayagami. His Hayagami's ability is to fix weapons. Meanwhile, Kanagi is visiting a grave of someone important to him, but then he is notified that Akachi has slaughtered all of Kanagi's subordinates. Akachi also goes to Ohika's village to recruit Ohika to his side. However, Ohika refuses, so Akachi captures Ohika's wife to threaten him. Out of concern for his wife's safety, Ohika accepts to submit to Akachi. However, after Akachi has achieved his goal, he still kills Ohika's wife. At this moment, Kanagi appears and witnesses this horrifying scene. He immediately uses Homura to attack Akachi. A battle between the two Shinshous immediately takes place.
So I gotta get through it, and the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it.
Apparently, Akachi is stronger than Kanagi. The two trade attacks before clashing with each other, causing the surrounding pressure to blow everything away. Hinohara's group is also blown away, but is protected by Hinohara's Hayagami. During the battle, Akachi mentions a girl named Emisu that distracts Kanagi. Akachi immediately disarms him. Without his Hayagami, is just a normal man. Akachi reveals that his drive for doing these heinous acts is because, in the past, Akachi and Kanagi both fell in love with a girl named Emisu. But for some reason, Kanagi killed Emisu, causing Akachi to despise him. Akachi doesn't want to kill Kanagi, but just wants to make Kanagi suffer and feel the same pain of losing someone important. Hinohara on the sidelines can't stand to see this continue, so he steps up and wants Akachi to stop. But for Akachi, it's either to submit or be submitted to. He then leaves in a cloud of dust. On Arata's side, he is replacing Hinohara to go to school. He then meets Kadowaki, who bullied Hinohara in the past. Kadowaki thinks that Arata is Hinohara, so he doesn't hesitate to attack Arata, but his fist is caught, and he is kicked by Arata. Back to Hinohara's side, in the past, Emisu was killed by the god of fire because she went to the mountains to find herbs to save Kanagi. Witnessing the scene, Kanagi was deeply enraged, so he was chosen by Homura to become the god's Shinshou. After hearing Kanagi's past, Hinohara feels sympathy for him, so he invites Kanagi to join their team with the aim of changing the world. In the princess's capital, the 6 Shinshous are the strongest and most mysterious of the 12 Shinshou. All of them wear ceremonial robes and masks to keep their identities secret. They are concerned about Hinohara's Hayagami Tsukuyo, which is the progenitor of all Hayagami. After investigating, they learn that Hinohara comes from another world, and the cause is from within the Kando forest. One of the 6 Shinshous step inside the forest, just like with Hinohara. He is then swapped with Kadowaki. Not only that, but he used his Hayagami to transfer all of his memories into Kadowaki. So Kadowaki comes to this world to hunt Hinohara. The remaining 5 Shinshous take Kadowaki to meet a Hayagami named Orochi. Only those with extreme hatred can become its master. In the past, Hinohara used to be Kadawaki's best friend. They participated in a writing competition together. But Hinohara deliberately slowed down to let Kadowaki win. Since then, Kadowaki hated Hinohara with a burning hatred. Hinohara's team continue on their way. They reach the domain of Lord Yorunami, who is one of the 12 Shinshous. Hinohara was able to convince Yorunami's most trusted subordinate, Hiroko, to help them. Suddenly, when they are getting close to Yorunami's palace, Kotoha is caught in a water ball. Kanagi says that this is Lord Yorunami's ability. He suspects that this is a trap to lure Hinohara. When they get there, they see Kotoha trapped in a sphere, and the water inside it is gradually increasing. Yorunami says that Hinohara has to submit to him, or make him submit, then Kotoha will be released. He immediately attacks Hinohara. Kanagi and Kanate want to help by saving Kotoha, but is prevented by Yorunami. Yorunami uses a water dragon to attack Hinohara and trap him inside a water sphere. This is a special technique that manipulates the dreams of the person inside the sphere. At this time, Kadowaki appears and wants to save Hinohara, because he wants to keep Hinohara by himself. However, Kadowaki is also hit by Yorunami's spell and trapped inside the sphere. Yorunami wants Hinohara to submit to him inside the dream by using Hinohara's mother. But with a steadfast will, Hinohara doesn't fall for the trap. Yorunami is angry and doesn't need Hinohara's submission anymore. He now wants to kill Hinohara. During the danger, Hinohara hears Kotoha's voice. Thanks to that, he doesn't give up on this life. In response to Hinohara's will, the sword Tsukuyo released its power, causing Yorunami's spell to be negated. Yorunami wants to continue attacking, but his Hayagami has lost the will to fight. Since Yorunami's power is lost, Kadowaki is now also free. Kadowaki wastes no time to attack Hinohara. However, Hinohara doesn't want to fight Kadowaki, because he doesn't want to become a person filled with hatred like him. Everyone around is cheering for Hinohara, but his Tsukuyo is no match for Kadowaki's Orochi. At this time, Lord Yorunami wants to voluntarily submit to Hinohara to help him, but Hinohara disagrees. Yorunami says that he wants to see a world ruled by Hinohara. Having finished speaking, Yorunami transfers all of his power to Hinohara. The power is so great that the whole palace is blown away. Hinohara wants to know why Kadowaki wants to fight him so badly, but Kadowaki doesn't answer clearly and continues to attack Hinohara. Hinohara uses Yorunami's skills to fight back. They had one last clash, ending with Kadowaki being blown away. Then, through believing in the people that have put their faith in him, Hinohara's sword glows, and many stone pillars rose from below the water. He speaks of his determination to change the world. Then, the sword radiates a light around him, in the form of wings. Kanagi says that his Hayagami has fully awakened. Hinohara launches an attack at Kadowaki. The attack is so powerful that it causes Kadowaki to be blown away. After the battle, without a master to serve, all of Yorunami's servants also submit to Hinohara, so they can be with their master. Elsewhere, Kadowaki is still alive, and vows to duel Hinohara again someday. Whew, that wraps up this anime summary. This one had quite an interesting premise. The story was somewhat different from the usual norm, but sadly it only has one season. So, what are you guys' thoughts on the series? Write them in the comments. Don't forget to give the video a like, and if you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe for more anime summaries. See you guys next time.